Researchers have developed the first ever blood test capable of diagnosing myogenic enteromyelitis, I'm not going to say that again, also known as chronic fatigue syndrome. There is no current test for the condition, which is characterized by sufferers struggling with extreme tiredness. It is also known as ME or CFS, and its exact cause is unknown. Also, on News at 10 tonight, 2 people have been arrested after hackers stole information about thousands of children from a nursery chain. 2 men aged 17 and 22 were arrested in Stopford, Hertfordshire, on suspicion of computer misuse and blackmail, the Metropolitan Police said. They remain in custody for questioning. Compensation payouts for on around 14 million of their car finance deals could start next year, the Financial Conduct Authority has said. On Tuesday, the regulator confirmed victims of the mis-selling of car finance could be owed hundreds of pounds through the redress scheme. And global superstar Justin Bieber surprised staff at a fish and chip shop in St Andrews after when he popped in for his dinner this weekend. But they only realised who he was when he started singing out the menu.
This is STV News at 10 with Tom Bradby.
Good evening. Researchers have developed the very first ever blood test capable of diagnosing chronic fatigue syndrome. There is no current test for the condition, which is characterized by sufferers struggling with extreme tiredness. It is also known as ME or CFS, and its exact cause is unknown. Estimates suggest that more than 400,000 people in the UK are impacted by the condition. Patients are usually diagnosed based on symptoms, which leaves some waiting years for a diagnosis. The new test has been hailed as a breakthrough in ME research. Lead researcher, Professor Dmitry Vazensky from the University of East Anglia's Norwich Medical School said, "We know that some patients report being ignored or even told that their illness is all in their head, and with no definitive tests, many patients have gone undiagnosed or misdiagnosed for years. We wanted to see if we could develop a blood test to diagnose the condition, and we did. Our discovery offers the potential for a simple, accurate blood test to help confirm a diagnosis, which could lead to earlier support and more effective management." The NHS describes the 4 main symptoms of the condition as constant and extreme tiredness, sleeping problems including insomnia and oversleeping, brain fog, and symptoms worsening after physical or mental activity. There is no cure for ME, with the NHS website stating therapy, medication to help sleeping and energy management among ways patients can manage symptoms. Scientists developed the test by finding a unique pattern appearing in the blood samples when comparing 47 patients with ME and 61 healthy adults. Writing in the Journal of Translational Medicine, experts said the test had a 92% likelihood of a test being positive if that patient has the condition. Other experts called for more studies to confirm the finding and for the test to be assessed among a wider population of patients. Professor Chris Ponting, chairman of medical bioinformatics at the University of Edinburgh, added, "The test needs to be fully validated in better designed and independent studies before it is considered for clinical application. Even if validated, the test will be expensive, likely about £1,000. 2 people have been arrested after hackers stole information about thousands of children from a nursery chain. 2 men aged 17 and 22 arrested in Bishop's Stortford, Hertfordshire, on suspicion of computer misuse and blackmail, the Metropolitan Police have said. They remain in custody for questioning, the force said. Cyber hackers were said to be using pictures and names of about 8,000 children from the kiddo nursery chain to demand ransom money. There are fears that information about the children's parents, carers, and safeguarding notes could be in the hands of the hackers after the ransomware attack. Will Lynn of the Metropolitan Police said, since these attacks took place, specialist Met investigators have been working at pace to identify those responsible. We understand reports of this nature can cause considerable concern, especially to those parents and carers who may be worried about the impact of such an incident on them and their families. We want to reassure the community and anyone affected that this matter continues to be taken extremely seriously. These arrests are a significant step forward in our investigation, but our work continues alongside our partners to ensure those responsible are brought to justice. BBC News said it had challenged the hackers over using children's data to extort from a nursery and were told by criminals that they weren't asking for an anonymous amount and they deserved some compensation for our pen test. A pen test, or penetration test, is the term for when ethical hackers are hired to access the security of an organisation in a controlled and professional way. Well, still to come on News at 10 tonight. The shock of staffing thief Chippy as Justin Bieber makes an unexpected visit during the Scottish golf trip. Well, that story and more when we come back after this break. Don't go away. Welcome back. Compensation payouts on around 14 million unfair car finance deals could start next year, the Financial Conduct Authority has said. On Tuesday, the regulator confirmed victims of the mis-selling of car finance could be owed hundreds of pounds through the redress scheme. The scheme comes after the FCA found motor finance firms broke the law or its rules by not properly informing customers about commission paid by lenders to the car dealers that sold them the loan. Our STV News reporter Ellie Pitt explains why victims of the mis-selling of car finance could be owed hundreds of thousands through the redress scheme.
So Mary, for a number of years, some car loan companies were offering finance deals that were unfair and broke financial rules by not disclosing certain important financial information to consumers and customers. Now, you might have seen adverts asking whether you were mis-sold car finance. This compensation scheme is trying to simplify the way that customers get the compensation they're eligible for. When it comes to who is eligible, well, if you took out a finance deal on a car between April 2007 and November last year, you could be eligible for compensation. The Financial Conduct Authority thinks that the pot of money that lenders will have to make available for compensation is £8.2 billion. That means that the average payout per agreement, so per finance deal, is expected to be about £700. Imagine some people might have had more than one car loan over that period. This is Martin Lewis's reaction to the compensation scheme tonight.
This is the biggest redress scheme in financial services history after PPI. Yes, the money might be bigger if you went militant and went to court, but then there are costs and it's much more difficult. In terms of an easy, simple redress scheme, we haven't actually seen anything like this of this scale before.
Now, whether you've already made a complaint or not, when the scheme is live, you should hear directly from your lender, but you've got to reply and opt into this scheme in order to get your cash. If the lender hasn't got your details on file or you've moved address, then you've got a year to get in touch with them directly to get your compensation. The FCA thinks payments could be made as early as next year, but there's still another stage of consultation to go before that happens.
OK, Ellie Pitt, thank you.
And finally, would you believe it? Global superstar Justin Bieber surprised staff at a fish and chip shop in St Andrews when he popped in for his dinner this weekend. But they only realised who he was when he started singing out the menu. Sorry, I had to. The singer stopped by Cromer's Fish and Chips during a golf trip in Scotland, but despite his worldwide fame, was not recognised by the team at first. Owner Charles Mayer said the chippy was full due to the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship, and so staff failed to notice they had been serving pop royalty until Beaver began vocalising the menu. When he came in, we didn't realise at first, but he started tapping the counter and singing out the menu. It was a bit of a shock for the staff. He was very nice and respectful. He ordered a lot of food, primarily our special fish and chips with an Inton Gun beer. Mr. Mayor said Beaver and his friends had asked to sit in, but the restaurant was fully booked, so they settled for a takeaway. It was surreal, and for the staff it took a bit of time to sink in. Justin and his friends had to wait because we cook to order here. He gave us the thumbs up. No review, but he had a munch of a few chips on the way out, which was good, Mr. Mayor added. The chip shop is used to serving professional golfers, but this is the first time they've had someone of that level of pop fame. Word quickly spread around the town, and they were suddenly inundated with fans looking to get their picture with him. Beaver has been enjoying a Scottish golfing trip along the east coast, and has been spotted on nights out in Dundee, going through a McDonald's drive-thru and playing the piano in the 5-star luxury hotel resort of Gleneagles. The Canadian star has been sharing photos and videos of his trip with his 293 million Instagram followers, including a music video recorded in Dundee's abandoned ship bar. What are the chances, eh? I could now murder a fish and chips. So I think the chippy on the way home will be in order. And I might even sing out the menu. That is it for tonight. Good night. Thank you very much indeed for watching.